So yes, that's what.
I want to see the teaser. I'll speak on this. I'm just coordinating with my studio team.
I know. The last minute tying up is always there.
Hello, welcome to My Startup TV. I'm your host, Major Sunil. It was only a decade ago, or maybe a little more than that, that if you were traveling from city A city to city B, it would be a challenge to find a cab. Obviously, it involved haggling with local taxi drivers. One would not know what's the price that you need to quote, and also one would not sure the safety part of it. Well, that got solved when the likes of Ola and Uber came in. And for the last about a decade plus, we've been enjoying the services of Ola and Uber, and also many other services like Meru cab services. But then, even these big brand names have not been able to solve intercity travel. Well, recently I was traveling between Kanpur and Prayagraj, the same problem. Find a cab for myself, and how do I do? Obviously, going back to the old thing, talking to your relatives, talking to your friends, finding a cab through Connect, and one is never sure of what the cab is going to be. I mean, the quality of the cab, the interior, the driver, all of that. And when you're traveling long distance within intercity, security is always a challenge. Now, how do you solve this? Well, today my guest is Lt Col Rajesh Vij, who's the founder of Kabby. Welcome, Rajesh. Welcome to the Soldierpreneur Show.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So, Colonel Rajesh, before we go forward and understand what Kabby is all about, I want you to introduce yourself. Your army background as a veteran, what you've done. So let's start with if you can briefly give us for benefit of our viewers as to tell the soldier Rajesh is.
Right, sir. I started my career in way back in 1990s. I'm an alumni of the National Defense Academy, Khadakwasla. Thereafter, after doing 3 years of training there, I went on to IMA Dehradun, where I trained for a year and got commissioned. I served in the Indian Army at various different locations all over the country for more than 20 years. In 2017, I took premature retirement and came out of the army, sir. And thereafter, I was picked up by a company and I went abroad to Singapore to head the company there. So I was there for about 2 years, then kept moving from place A to place B. And in my last stint was at Panchkula itself, where I've now settled, from where I have launched Kabby, sir. So Kabby was launched on 1st of June 2024. The app was made available to all. And since then, we have been doing this human service for everybody, sir. That is providing intercity transport from a, a few destinations since I am bootstrapped as of now. And I am providing this kind of service to one and all on a basic platform which is very easy to operate, easy to understand, transparent, as also gives the safety and the security aspects there. That's about us, sir.
So now we'll dig into the startup that you started, Kabby, and also what how do you secure, how do you make the industry journey pleasurable. Before that, I want to also, for the benefit of veterans out there and benefit of all those veterans who want to become entrepreneurs, if you could share, how was the journey from being a veteran to an entrepreneur, or what we call soldierpreneurs.
Right. So it's been very exciting 6, 7 years outside in the CV street. I worked at various places, different countries, traveled a lot, learned a lot. However, the first 3 months are the basic main months where a person has to get his mindset right. Once he has got that, then I don't think there is much of a challenge for any Fauji or a veteran to operate outside in the corporate world. You see, he's got the age, he's got the experience, he's got the know-how, he's got the skills, right? It is just converting them into the corporate parlance, which it does not take much time actually. Thereafter, from a corporate slave, I would say, to becoming an entrepreneur, that takes a little bit of a hit because there one realizes that one has to do now start doing everything himself. Earlier, it used to be that somebody used to tell you and you used to follow or maybe add on to what he was telling. Here, everything you have to think and one has to plan and then execute, keeping in view the constraints of resources, time, money, place, everything. So the initial entrepreneurship is a little tough. One gets irritated at times and everything, but I don't think it is impossible or very difficult. It is fun, in fact. You see, you govern your own time, you govern your own rules.
So you had a stint, where you worked in corporate before you got into entrepreneurship. For the entrepreneurs or the soldiers who are looking to become entrepreneurs, would you suggest that action where once they come out of the forge, they spend some time working for in the private sector, maybe in MNCs, maybe with companies, or today there is options also to work with startups. Maybe they get paid, there you get paid less, but then the grooming is very fast, as we call it in the army, bedding in
Absolutely.
is much faster. You suggest
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. 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 Both ways, in fact, depends from a person to person, sir. None of you cannot say that each way is a sacrosanct way or is a laid out rule. I would say yes, come outside, get some experience outside, and then step into entrepreneurship. Then the stepping up from one point to another point becomes very easy, smooth, and comfortable. You know? So yes, that is one way one should go about it, I guess.
And if you had to choose between or recommend MNC versus startup, knowing that the pay scales are going to be completely different.
I would say going into a startup is much better for a person who's coming out of the forces to then join because then he knows and then he exercises himself also. See, here it is very important to go down to grassroots level. At the same time, while you're executing at the grassroots level, to think big, to think ahead, to think far. So I guess I would always suggest a person to go on to a startup first. Sir. MNCs have their own
Definitely.
advantages. Absolutely. They've got a better pay package. They've got better timings, 9 to 5, 9 to 7, whatever. They've got 4 or 5 days a weekend, you know, that kind of a thing, work week. But then going on to a startup would be a very good thing for a person who's coming out of the forces.
I mean, the only thing I will add from my personal experience is one, in a startup, if you join a startup, this is again subject to the fact that what your financial commitments are. That's
Correct.
the underlying factor. So one of the things is to joining a startup is you get a lot of freedom to work, right?
Ah,
So you can,
yes.
anything that you think of, the young entrepreneur or the entrepreneur, the founder is willing to hear you out. Whereas if you join an MNC or established company, you get boxed, right? That's the
Absolutely.
first and foremost thing, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so if you're joining a startup at a very early stage, there is a very good likelihood based on your cap. I mean, we all know how 4Gs are, right? We all understand they bring so much of experience, operational capabilities, and all of that, especially the writing skills, right? If you bring all of that, there's every likelihood that you could end up becoming a co-founder or at least occupying a very high senior position within the startup. So those are advantages that one could gain, which would otherwise would not happen in an MNC or an established company. Those are my personal experience.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, sir. I totally agree with you because you see, once he comes to a startup, he is one of the founding people. You know, the core team, what you call. There,
Yeah.
his advice, his viewpoints are respected. Whereas if you go on to a MNC and all, everything is set out there altogether. The SOPs are made, the way of functioning is made, what has to be done is already there. Somebody was already doing it before him, right? So it makes a lot of sense. Yes, you come to a startup, you grow with it, you enjoy the growth. That would be good fun.
So now coming back to Kabby, how did this whole idea or how did you come about? Was that a personal experience that led you to get into Kabby? Because you were already, well settled, you're already traveling, you've traveled the world, you had already, you were kind of into a job, secured one, but then leaving all that, getting into a startup and Kabby.
So, so in my previous job, I used to travel a lot, and I used to travel long distances. Uh, I was stationed here in Chandigarh, but unfortunately, the flights abroad and all, one had to take only from Delhi or from other metro airports. And this driving time is about 5 to 6 hours, which is quite killing at times. Right? And of course, most important was during winters and all. One never knew whether the cab would turn up or not. Even at the last moment, I've faced these difficulties when the drivers did not even pick up the call. You kept ringing up the guy who's been booked. And then once you reach there, if you at all you book through one of the platforms, you found that the rates which were coming were totally different of what you saw in the initial stages. There are a lot of surge pricing, there are a lot of this thing. And when you look around, you find that for intercity travel, people have generally got one guy called Bittu or Sunny or somebody near their society who's a travel agent sort of a boy, a young man, whom they call up and ask for their vehicle, the time they want the vehicle, and that guy, without having a single vehicle of his own, is able to actually provide you that. So this is where I actually got thinking that yes, if this guy can do it, how is he doing it, and why can't we do it, and in a better manner? Secondly, I also found that the platforms, when you go on to the existing big honchos, they post-COVID, they saw, you see, there was a lot of shift in the work culture. It became hybrid. It became work from home. People were sitting in the hills and then working from there. That culture came in. So therein rose the demand for these cabs. However, the quality of the cab or the maybe the timings or all those things, they were not up to the mark. They were a lot lacking. And this guy who's a travel agent could get you a new vehicle within, say, 5 to 6 hours or maybe overnight, whenever you wanted. So that is where we started doing our homework. We formed a small core team and we started doing our homework, sir. And I spearheaded it. I found that there were almost about 400 people who are riding between Chandigarh and Delhi every day in cab. We went down, we did a good analysis on the toll nakas and all. And these people were moving up and down, almost about 400 per day. And this, most of them whom we interviewed, who we could catch on to in the you see parking lots and all, none of them were from one of the platforms and all. Hardly about 5% of them. So this is how Kabby started. The idea of Kabby came, started taking birth actually. So I formed a platform, which is Kabby Intercity platform, wherein I have just kept 12 odd cities right now. Now, what I have done on these cities is, firstly, on the platform, there is no surge pricing. It's all fixed prices. So what you see in the beginning is what you actually pay in the end, right? Secondly, most importantly, there are no such things as hidden costs, neither for the guests who is going to avail the facility, nor for the driver who is going to give you that. I found that the drivers were being charged very heavy commissions, up to 20 plus percent, sometimes 22%, 25%. Now, if a person is going to earn $1,000 and $250 he's going to give it to the company, plus the taxes on top of it, what will he take home actually after his own expenses and all? So here I bought those things down. I, instead of making it into percentage, I kept a fixed INR amount. That okay, for this distance, this is the commission we will charge, which just takes care of us, this thing, the operations and the taxes and everything. Third, most importantly, the women's safety. Now, I found that there were a lot of corporate ladies who travel solo, or maybe two of them would get together in a cab and travel. Meetings can keep taking place at whatever time, you know, after hours, after office hours, rushing home uh, over the weekend. So this was something which was a little lacking, I found, in the market today. So what I did was I mapped out with all the police stations en route, right? And we are in touch with them. That in case on any of our routes, the lady presses the SOS button, a ticket is raised in our control room, right? And we immediately contact the nearest PCR there. They are able to actually reach the vehicle within 20 to 22 minutes maximum, which in itself is a very big thing. Another major point was like from Punjab, if you see, a lot of people are abroad. The sons, the daughters, most of them are abroad. And it is these old parents who travel to go and meet them, spend about 2, 3 months with them, and then come back. So I found that for old people, for the senior citizens, what better could it be that tomorrow, if he's not feeling too well over this 5.5 hours journey minimum, right? If he could have a button where he could just step on it, or maybe a call which he could do okay, and say very smoothly that I'm not feeling too well. So we mapped out all the hospitals there, right? So in case anything is of such type is received by us, our immediate thing is to call up that hospital, warn them that this so and so is the guy, this is his approximate age that he is there, and he is feeling this kind of a difficulty. And the vehicle is diverted towards the hospital. The first aid is given within 15 to 20 minutes. See? Because along the routes nowadays, you find that towns are there everywhere, but nobody knows which hospital where. So there we map it out, send it to the driver to pick up that route and divert the vehicle to that side. So these are few small things which I brought about in our cabby, which will facilitate not only travel but make it very seamless, comfortable, economic, economical, as also most importantly safe and sound. So that is what cabby is all about, sir.
That's a lot of work you have done where you're taking care of the safety part of it, the health in case there is an emergency, medical emergency. Now all this is possible only if you had your own dedicated vehicles. Is that what you have, or you have tied up in a manner where these vehicles work for you exclusively? If you could share that part with the viewers.
Right. So I am an aggregator of sorts, but I am a person who is very closely in touch with all the drivers, the team of vehicles, and all. We carry out our tests are very this thing. Like each and every driver is checked, right? His documents are checked. His all certifications are checked, like his driver license, insurance of the vehicle, registration, and all those things. And for the drivers, we've bought in a few things which nobody would have given. For example, a driver is driving on the route and he finds that his insurance is going to expire. He only has to call up a control room again. And somebody here would take out the details of his, give him a choice over the call. Okay, these are the insurances which are available, and get it done, for him online. So by the time he's still driving, his insurance is all done. The money part is taken care of separately, right? Again, when he's entering from one state to another state, if he does not have a state permit or something of that state, right? He gives us a call immediately online. We get it done for him, send it over to him over a WhatsApp or any means he wants. You know. So these are small things which me and my team have taken care of, even for the driver part. And we have found that after each and every journey, we take a feedback from the customer of the driver and from the driver of the customer, both ways. When in case there's things are not matching, then we've got one or two people here who investigate into the matter to what has been the gap, if at all there has been. Feedbacks are very important to us, be they positive or negative. We take negative feedbacks very seriously, we act upon them, and then we give a feedback to the client or the customer or the guest or even the driver. Ye bhaiya, ye hua tha, in the language which he understands. Like Punjabis, Haryana, Maharashtra, everybody's got a different thing. So we make him understand that this was the problem which had taken place. Please abide by that. So this is the kind of way Cabby is as of now for the past about 8 months functioning, sir.
Well, I'm sure our viewers and also your consumers or your the people who use your service would be rest assured that it's a 4G who's doing it. So he would check all the boxes that goes into it to making the service safe, reliable, and on time. Now, you're very early into the into the entrepreneurial journey with your startup. If you could share us some data points as to in this 1 year, how many rides have you done? How many customers have used your rides, or how many cabs you have on the roads?
Awesome. So, like I told, sir, we started on 1st of June 2024. Today it is January and beginning of first week of Feb. So in this period, we have got an aggregated of about 4,000 cabs with us. All these vehicles are different types. For example, Ertigas, Innova, we don't keep at all. We keep only Cristas and sedans. All the vehicles are within 2 years of age. We only keep new vehicles within 2 years of age, and we ensure they are all in the top physical condition, mechanical condition. Secondly, our app is on the App Store. We've got more than 1,100 organic downloads as of now of this thing. And we have done more than about 800 rides where we have ferried people from to and from. So this is the data which is there of in figures if you talk of it about cabbies now. Apart from that, for senior citizens, we do take their reservations on call also, and then put it on the platform from our side. Because sometimes you find that the senior citizens are not very tech savvy, or like nowadays things are coming out that there are so many scams going on and everything. So one is a little apprehensive at that age. So we understand that, and in order to litigate that, we take the reservations on a call. We've got separate people assigned for that, and make sure that the journey is smooth and comfortable.
As a startup, where are you with the revenues right now? I mean, have you raised any fund? Are you looking to raise your raise a fund? Where are you there?
Right. So this is a totally entirely bootstrapped venture which I had started out with. But yes, one is looking for funds. There's no doubt about it. And we have applied a couple of places, Startup India and all. So those things should come in shortly. But yes, we are looking at for funds because to enlarge and to our dream is that we should keep adding one or two cities every 3 months. You know, so to make sure that the operations are smooth there requires a little bit of you can say a lot of drain of finances at that end, you know, that kind of a thing. To smoothen the things, to onboard the vehicles, to make sure that the operational staff is fine, you know, the SOPs are being followed, everything is being taken care of in that manner. So yes, we are looking in for funds also, sir.
If you want to share, with potential investors probably out there who might see this show, as to what you're trying to raise, how much you're trying to raise, and in what period of time.
Uh, we have taken out a figure of about 5 CR, which we plan to raise, which we would be able to, which we would be spending over a period of 2 to 2.5 years. And I'm open to whatever offers are come in my way, sir. I'm open to that.
So you are a solo, founder of the company. Was it by default? What is something that you wanted it that way, or is it because you didn't find a right fit co-founder as yet? Because that's what I did when I started. For quite a long time, I was solo founder of my company. Eventually, when Colonel Wamshi, who commanded Maratha Rifle Colonel, when he came around, I onboarded him after almost 2 years of launching Mysore TV. So is it something that you did? Because why I ask this question is a lot of 4Gs, soldiers, when they're starting on a journey, it's not very easy for us to just come and find another, co-founder. So it takes time, unlike in the civil where you have, friends, you have college mates with whom you're in touch. Here we are completely new. We come from an environment where we kind of lost a lot of touches. So just want to share, understand your thoughts on that.
Believe you me, I did want to have a co-founder with me. Even if today I'm searching for somebody. Reason is because there's nobody to kick my ass. Pardon my this thing, right? One would love to have a critic on his side to tell you, no, you're not supposed to do this, because right now it is a one-man army which is leading the whole show, right? So totally like what is the scene in the unit that what commander says goes right down and the thing is taken care of, right? So that kind of a thing. Yes, I would love to have a co-founder. I, in fact, tried a couple of meeting and talking to a lot of people. But then, unfortunately, you see, being a people who want to come in, they have, supposing even a person who stepped out from the forge recently or is on his way to stepping up, he is looking for a steady income to start coming in. So now in a startup, this kind of thing may or may not work unless and until it is already pre-funded or something of that sort. So in my case, I could not do that. I was very frank about it. So even today, if you ask me about 8 months down the line, I'm the one who's funding everything. I'm the one who's taking care of all the things. Though the team is there, they do get their salaries on time every month. But then, yes, I don't take anything for myself, you know, that kind of a thing. So yes, I would love to buddy up with people. Most welcome. The more the merrier. Of course, it would be good fun. Yes, that would be real good fun. It will give me
So
some time
just
to breathe also.
no, I fully agree. Having a co-founder works wonders because, as you rightly said, somebody who can point out where the mistakes are, somebody with whom you can brainstorm, right? You can
Of
run your
course,
ideas and you can check, whether it's making sense or not. And also, just to clarify for our viewers, we are not talking about having co-founders only from the Forge. It could be anybody. It's just that as long as you
anybody.
fit in, that's it.
Absolutely. So co-foundership, co-founder, or this thing is more about the vibes matching together. You see, it's
Very true.
more about the thoughts matching, right? The vision matching, right? Most important, because it's not that it is something like bread and stick. It has to go over a period of time. It has to grow. It has to enlarge. It has to take over things. There will be speed breakers which are there along the route always, but then be cool and calm about it. Go further ahead, not not lose hope, but I just stay fast. Steadfast. So that kind of a thing has to be there. So yes, I'm very much open. I'm very much open. No gender specifics, no forge or corporate or civil or nothing. I'm very much open, sir. Very much.
Well, that's important to clarify that when we talk about co-founders as 4Gs, as veterans, we're not looking for only from armed forces. It could be anyone as long as
Yes.
you fit in. Very rightly said. Now, Kabby, as you said, is in 11 cities, right? You do intercity with 11 locations. What are your plans going forward? Are you going to open up in other areas? I understand at this point in time, funds could be a constraint, but are there any areas that you want to add up as you go forward?
Yes, sir. Sir, Kabby is right now operating in 12 cities with which we have interconnected with each other. From Delhi, we are taking care of Dehradun, Rishikesh, Haridwar, and on the east, we are taking care of Agra, the south of Jaipur, and then in Punjab, Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Amritsar, Jalandhar, all that area. Apart from that, we are also connecting Pune and Mumbai in this thing, Maharashtra. So our next step in Kabby would be to connect two more cities in Maharashtra. This would we would be doing by the month of May. So, for example, Shetty is there, Nagpur is there. We will be bringing them also in our gambit, sir. So aim is that every 3 to 4 months, one or two cities will keep adding to it. So we will keep adding. Aim is to spread the network solid, strong, steadfast in a place. So operations have to be stabilized. First set, stabilized, and then only we move on to the next. So that kind of
And as an expansion and as a scaling up plan, are you looking at onboarding partners from various cities or even franchisee model? Have you thought of that?
thing. So partners, yes, but franchisee, no. I'll be very frank with you. My aim, because what happens is we have got certain SOPs which are in place. We have got a certain, our vision is most dependent on the fact that the ladies have to be kept secure, safe, and the senior citizens have to be looked after, right? An old man of 80 years, if he's going to beat his son, needs to travel comfortably. And so does a lady who travels home after, say, a corporate job get left out for around 7 o'clock from Gurgaon. She has to drive down to Dehradun or to Chandigarh or to Jaipur. She feels safe and she can just call a cab. So, franchisee, no, but yes, partners, yes, would be open to take, provided that when they come on to our kind of guidelines. Because we are very strict about certain things, and I would like to ensure that those things are followed to the nation.
Rajesh, it was a pleasure having you on the show, and we hope to see you again in some of our panel discussion when it comes to soldierpreneurs. We wish you all the very best.
So much, sir. Jain, sir.
Viewers, if you're traveling intercity and if you're looking for a cab, you know where to go. It's Kabby, and it's run by a veteran, so you can be rest assured about safety and also security. So, thank you very much. Do subscribe to our channel if you want to hear more interesting stories, insights. Do subscribe to us. Follow us every evening at 8 p.m. Sharp for the live show. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to you.